In this video, we're going to talk about the Pages palette. You can always bring up your Pages palette under Window right here. I already have it up. It's going to be toggled with your Layers palette, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, and your links. We had created a 4-page document, and that's really what your Pages palette is going to reflect. You have these familiar icons at the bottom where you can add pages, you can delete pages, you can edit pages, all of that right in here. These are your pages right here, and these are your master pages. You typically want to have your number of pages be divisible by 4. So it would either be 4, 8, 16, and so on and so forth. Why? Because that's how the printer spreads are set up. Anything that is saddle stitched, as in it has those staples down the middle, needs to be divisible by 4 because it needs to grip, it needs to be divisible by 4. So I can go ahead and just kind of give myself as many pages as I want. And this way now I've got 8 pages set up right here. We're going to look at your master pages. Notice how they have this small little icon called A at the top. That means master, a master has been applied to all these pages. What that means is that you can set up certain recurring elements in your master pages and not have to apply them individually on each page. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go ahead and come to my bottom left corner and select my A master. So I'm working in my master page right here. And while I'm here, I just move that across the top so it's a little bit more out of my way and more accessible. While I'm here, I'm going to set up some recurring elements, and you'll see how helpful it is to have them. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick up my rectangle tool and maybe draw a bar across the top. This I'm working in my master pages. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up my swatches palette right here. Or I can always, I can have it right here in my options bar. So my color right now is set to none, and I'm going to give it a nice fill. Maybe I don't want a stroke applied to it, so I'll give a no stroke right here. So it was quick and easy to use this options bar for this. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on my right hand page, and I'm going to move this out of the way a little. And I've given myself a similar bar across the top. I'm going to give it the same fill and no stroke right here. Now I did this once. If you notice, if you look at your pages palette, I have this recurring in all my pages now. Let's look at them carefully. This is page 1, page 2, page 3. It's there in all my pages. So you really want to set up your recurring elements just once. A, you save a lot of time. You don't really want to be doing the same thing over and over again, right? B, you could, not place it quite exactly as where you intended. You don't want things to look a little off. It's nice to have them in the exact same position, and this way they are in the exact same position. And now when I go to one of my pages and I'm messing around and doing other things, there's no way I'm going to inadvertently move these fixed elements. I can't. They're on my master pages. If I want to edit them, I have to go back to my master page. I can certainly do that. I can go back to my master page in here and see how this bar is a little thicker. I can maybe make it thinner. Maybe a client changed their mind. This is something that's very common in newsletters and things, which, my gosh, I know I've done a lot of those in my career. So those are pretty common jobs for graphic designers, is doing newsletters, company newsletters, association newsletters. So now when we look at our page, you'll see this change. There you go. It's reflected on the pages. This is not the master page. This is page 2 and 3 spread. Look at page 1. So it's right there. Master pages, do it once. In your master pages, you can even set up your guidelines, any kind of recurring elements, logos, the bar across the top that we looked at. It'll help you save time and it'll add to your consistency of your document. Since I'm on my master, say you would like this guideline to always be at this point in your document. And once you set it up right here on your master page, you can go back in, and if you look at your pages, there you go, it's going to be there. And again, I can't move it until I go back to my master pages. I can select them and get rid of them if I need to. Sometimes they get distracting. You might not want them there once you've set up your document just as you need to. Now we've talked about a master. You can have several masters going. This is just A. You'll have A, B, C, all of that. So you could have, say, A master, which is a style that applies to a cover page. And you could have B master, which goes through the document itself. You can always drag and drop the new master to the page right here and give yourself the page icon, give yourself B master this way. You can always go to this drop down. You can go to new master page right here, and it'll automatically give this prefix, the A, B, C, and so on forth. So now I've given myself several master pages going. You can have some styles applied which are consistent in, maybe your cover page, your table of contents, and things that are one master and a different master for maybe the storylines when they start, when the article itself starts. So this is useful to have, and you can apply that for consistency in your document. Another thing that you can apply in your master pages is page numbers. So say again, I go back to my A master, and you can do this in any master page. And I'm going to give myself page numbers that will get automatically applied. To do that, I need to, of course, pick up my text tool. And say you plan to have them on the bottom left and right. I'm going to just give myself a text frame. You always have to give yourself a text frame. And just for showing you all right now, I'm going to make my font size really large. Of course, your page numbers wouldn't be this large. And now that I've got my blinking cursor right here, I'm going to go under Type. This is a little hidden, so you might want to make a note of this. Insert Special Character, go under Markers, and go to Current Page Number, this one right here. Click on that, and I'm going to get an A. There you go. And I'll show you why that's okay. I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. Maybe make this a right aligned blinking cursor. Same, make my font size larger in my options bar. And do the same thing. Go under Type, go to Insert Special Character, Markers, Current Page Number. Now, this doesn't look like much. All I've got is 2 A's. Notice like I do have something on my document though. So let's look at it. Let's look at let's go to page 1. And it's actually 1, 2, 3. So all those A's are actually just the command that was inserted into the document to automatically start numbering your pages right here. Now supposing you had your front page, your page 1 set as your cover page, and you didn't really want to start numbering there. You actually wanted this to be your cover page, this to be your inside cover, and you really wanted page 3 to be your page 1, at least in the numbering. You can do that. you come into your Pages palette and this drop down right here, you go to your numbering and section option right here and select Start Page Numbering at 1. Make sure you're on page 3. No, I'm on page 3 right here. Click OK. That's fine. Well, that should have done it. Let's try that again. Let's make sure we're on the right page. Page 3. Numbering and section option. Start numbering at 1. Click OK. There you go. I must have not clicked it correctly. That right there is your page 1, and the rest of the pages will follow suit. It's 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we do have a problem. We have a page number here that we can't seem to get rid of. Yes, you can. We can just suppress it. Let's go to page 1. Make sure it's selected. Go to your drop down again in your Pages palette and go to Override All Master Page Items. You can do this for any reason if you need to override your master page items. This, as well as this, is now available to me. So I can just go ahead and remove my page number right here. I'll do the same thing on page 2. I'm going to go ahead and override master page items and remove page 2. Now I have 1, 2, 3 all set up correctly, just the way I want it. Of course, you want it a smaller type size and, aligned properly and all of that. You can certainly suppress it on maybe your back cover is 6 and you want to suppress it there. So there you go. That's sort of your master pages and how you work with multiple page documents. And this is your software for multiple page documents to lay out any desktop kind of work, any layout work.